So here's yet another one that backs up the old joke about the gals and accountability, as well as proves just how capable some women can be at covering their tracks. Being 5 chess moves ahead of a guy and acting like that nothing's going on, they have no interest in the guy, when in actuality, there's a whole lot going on here, and they lose their minds when you actually catch them and point it out to them. Titled, I, a 26-year-old male, went through my girlfriend's phone and confronted her. And she went nuts. So my girl and I have been dating and living together for 4 years now. She's truly my best friend and the love of my life. How many stories start off like that? We've had an amazing relationship over the years without really any strife or arguments. Naturally, we're very transparent and share everything with one another. Well, clearly she's not sharing everything, amigo. Our phones have always been shared, and she's told me if a guy DM'd her or if a guy from her past reached out. I never asked for this courtesy, but I've always appreciated it nonetheless. Well, that seems very nice, and hey, this sounds really good. A little too good to be true. Let's just hop right in. A married professional athlete named John has known her long before we met and has always had the hots for her. Gotta watch out for those guys named John. They're always trouble. When we first began dating, she would show and tell me when he'd reach out on Instagram. She told me she never replies and he deletes them, and he deletes the messages later to hide from his wife. Well, if she doesn't like the guy and doesn't like him reaching out, then why isn't she blocking him? She always expressed how gross and sick he was for betraying his wife, who is the mother of his kids. I never questioned her and just thought the guy was a complete tool. Professional athlete is hitting on her? Okay. Yeah, sure, she doesn't like that. Over the years, she mentioned when he reached out and we'd have the same conversation how disrespectful it was. I began to grow curious. A professional athlete with a family pursuing her with no attention or response for years on end. Things are starting not to make sense to me, though I never questioned her on it. It doesn't make sense, because there's a point the guy would just stop reaching out. You know, women are relentless with guys they want, but generally guys eventually are just going to give up and move on. So something tells me that obviously she's hiding evidence and not giving you the full story here. That is until last weekend when she brought him up again. He texted her to make sure she had his new phone number saved. She was laughing while telling me, "Why would I need your number? Go love your wife." We laughed it off, but that night I couldn't shake the thoughts. If she hadn't responded in 4 years to him reaching out, why would he text her to give her his new number? Duh. Exactly. These constant thoughts are what led me to break her trust by going through her phone. As you may have guessed, they've been exchanging flirty, dirty texts for years, and him sending nudes of himself and asking to see her naked, though she always made excuses. So this whole song and dance for 4 years of her, John's reaching out to me again, but I can't stand him, and I'm ignoring him. You can see me right here ignoring him. It's a bunch of crap. So in her mind, well, I'm kind of telling him the truth. What, lying the whole time. This is why this guy's gut told him something was wrong, and it's good that he followed that. You always got to trust your guts, guys. She did send him sexy bikini pictures from a vacation 2 years ago while we were on the vacation. She's texting with him and sending pictures of him, how she's looking in her bikini while you're actually on vacation together. I mean, no matter what, it's always a bad time, but still. I'm sorry, bro. That sucks, but you know what? At least you're not married to her. She's a girlfriend. You can get rid of her. It'll be a pain in the ass to obviously break the lease and all that or move out, but it could be worse. Also, her reply to one of his nudes a year into the relationship was, "You're so hot, but it hurts it can't be mine." They had made plans for her to go to his games for years or meet up for dinner, but she never went through with any of it. So you know. After reading everything, I felt so sick and almost like a stranger, or almost like she's a stranger. I took a few days to process things before I confronted her about going through her phone. Now listen to this. Remember, guys, for 4 years, or at least many years, she's been emotional affair, cheating, lying, all that. I mean, sending pictures or receiving nude pictures, that's cheating. And he caught her. Now watch her reaction. Last night we cooked dinner and sat down talk about our days. After some small talk, I mentioned to her I had this weird feeling that something was going on between her and John. She bursted out laughing, asking if I was joking. I told her she could be honest if they were just conversing, but she assured me that was not the case. You'd think that she at this point would figure, there's something going on here. Maybe he knows something. Nope, she's keeping up the lie. She looked me in the eyes and told me she's in love with me and would never do something like that. Okay, looking him straight in the eyes and lying through her teeth. My heart fell through the floor. I told her I went through her phone and saw everything. She immediately began screaming, crying, calling me a psycho, and asking how I could betray her trust. How you could betray her trust? 4 fucking years you've been yapping with this guy while claiming that you don't like him or anything like that. Accepting his nude pictures, sending him bikini pictures. Betraying trust? Really, sweetheart? Okay. How could I snoop through her things when she never gave me reason to? Yeah, you did. I told her I needed to know the truth and that I did regret going through those means to find it. Smack. Don't regret that. I asked her why and how could she do this. She was sobbing and screaming the same words and curses. So what this tells me is her perception of this. She's 29, he's 26. So that's not a good idea. So obviously, in her mind, she should be the one running the relationship. And her perception of this guy is that if she can cry and also yell at him, maybe he'll break down and apologize, that type of thing. So that's not a good place to be. She decided to pack her things to stay with her mom for a few days. Hey, knock yourself out. Tell your mom hi. I never felt so empty in my entire life. It's too fresh and I'm too embarrassed to ask my family or friends for advice in the event we do stay together. Bro, it's over. You can't stay with her. She's a liar. She's a cheater. Lord knows what else she has been doing this time with other dudes. And the fact that it would have been one thing if you confronted her, that she cried and admitted what she did and said she's sorry and whatever stupid Hobag handbook thing she would say. But the fact that she's now twisting around, making you out to be the bad guy and calling you psycho, that takes the disrespect to a whole new, to the fucking stratosphere. All right. So what you need to do is, I don't know what your situation is, whether you're living in her place, that's like, and your name is on the lease, or she's staying at your place and her name is on the lease, or you're both on the lease together. Whatever it is, it's time to break the living situation here. She's storming off and staying at her mom's to make you think that you're the bad guy here. And I get you spent 4 years with her, and it's a chunk of your life. It's an investment of your time and energy. But you can't stay with someone like this, because if you do, that's only going to communicate to her that she can pull this type of crap. And eventually, after enough crying and gaslighting and insulting you, you'll cave and she'll do it again. Your relationship will be way worse. End it with her, move on. And if anybody else says otherwise, then they really should not be in your corner. I'm sorry it happened to you, man. I mean, nobody deserves this type of thing, but it does happen. But listen, the way you described this, how she was so slick at trying to hide it, and kept bringing up this guy. Oh, this guy keeps bothering me again. What he should have done is said, oh, let me see the text he's sending to you. That's what he should have done. You know, but just like, oh my God. So anyhow, good luck, bro. But again, the gal's in accountability and covering their tracks. Watch out, my relationship guys.